Okay, it's 8:30. We'll call the UW Extension meeting to order at 8:30 on the 2nd of September. Matt Peisler is the only committee member absent, so I'd entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as printed.
I'll second.
Moved by Chuck, second by Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, hearing none. Motion carried. Agenda is adopted. I didn't see any minutes from the August 5th meeting. We didn't technically have an official meeting because we didn't have a quorum, but we had a long discussion of various issues, and so I assume that's why Rob didn't print any minutes. So there's no public input, I see. We have the educator reports. Everyone should have them. Is there any comments or questions on the reports or any additional commentary from the educators? I would open the floor for that.
I guess I would have a question for Erica concerning, you've got it in here that the corn harvest started already third week or so of August in the county. I'm seeing more and more corn go off every day. And you're talking about that the corn, was dried up in certain places. But overall, how is the harvest this year looking?
From what I've seen, it looks pretty good. We had, back in the end of May, we had a really heavy rain, and it was right after everyone got their corn in, and so a bunch of it got flooded out. So it's a lot more evident from aerial photos, but pretty much anywhere where there's low-lying area, the corn is washed out or it just drowned and didn't come up, didn't emerge. But I think it looks pretty good considering it didn't rain very much in the southern half of the county. In the northern half of the county, it looks pretty nice. So, and indoor, it looks good. I heard one complaint from a farmer that the green beans don't like the weather, don't like the wet feet, he said. So they're in Southern Door where they got a lot of rain. They're kind of struggling a little bit with the green beans, but I think everything looks pretty good considering.
That's good.
We'll know more next week after the corn dry down.
Okay. Another question for Erica. Are you getting overworked with all of these counties being added or all of these other duties?
It comes and goes. It's not like every single day, but some days it's more than others. But just we're trying to get through it.
Yeah. I guess from my standpoint, I guess I get concerned about these things. I understand there's hiring freeze, but a lot of times a hiring freeze sometimes means we're not going to hire new positions, but we're going to still fill positions that were there in order to keep offices and everything functioning. So I guess I don't know how it works. It's just that from my standpoint, I would like to move it up the concern, just so that to make people aware of it, that it concerns me. I like to see positions filled. I mean, there's a reason for the position. We have the work. Thinking that we can have one person cover where two people were covering before, it just doesn't work that way. And so I'm concerned with that.
Manitowoc County has been very vocal about getting that egg position down there filled. Door County is also becoming much more vocal.
Okay.
So, and I'll talk about in my report a little bit about kind of why the hold, but yes, Manitowoc wanted their position filled already. So, and they are very vocal.
Gary, you got anything?
No, I'm going to wait for her report here. I have a couple things to ask.
I just wanted to say thank you, Renee, for your great job getting letters, I guess, thank you letters from other places, other organizations, other states and things like that. I like to see that. And I like to make sure that we publicize that so that the public knows that, we've got people here like, we've always said this before, that extension seems to be not publicized enough, not, and I like to see things like this, but I like to see them put out there to the public so that they know that we're offering a great value here. And so thank you very much for your work.
And thank you, Chuck. Yeah, I was going to mention today, same thing with like Erica's position. We have a vacancy of the equivalent of my position in Door County, and in Manitowoc County, position was funded at only 50% time. So it's a part-time position in Manitowoc. So we have some of those same challenges in, family development programs that Erica is also facing with the agriculture in the 3-county area. And sometimes it can feel very defeating, like we're not able to get our work out into the hands of the people that really need it and to make a difference every day. And when I prepared this report last week, I didn't, I thought the same thing as you. I was really impressed that some of these other states had found some of our work and were reaching out to me and talking about how they're also using the material to keep children safe and to work with parents. I just found out a couple of days ago that one of my UW Extension colleagues in the center part of the state, she lost her granddaughter. She's attending a funeral today for her 12-year-old granddaughter who was killed in an ATV accident last week. And they actually had to take her off of life support. So this 12-year-old girl was at a friend's house in Minnesota, and the parents allowed the 12-year-old to drive an ATV. She had never driven before, a large ATV, and did not have a helmet on. And so my colleague in the center part of the state who does some of these same safety programs that we do, it's stories like this. We know, potentially we've maybe saved, hundreds of lives through the education that we provide. ATV safety is talked about at Rural Safety Day. And it's weighing heavily on my mind this morning, knowing that my colleague is dealing with this grief of her granddaughter. And, we didn't have an opportunity to have Rural Safety Day here in Kewaunee County this year. And ATV safety is one of those topics that we talk about. So I have all kinds of ideas floating around in my head how we can still get that education to parents and families this year and get back to those children that missed out on that opportunity last May.
Thank you.
Anything else on educator reports? If not, we'll move to department head. Judy?
So this is day 2 of officially picking up Door, Manitowoc, and Kewaunee counties as their area extension director. So I tried to get out as much as I could in August. So to get out in August so that Rob could help me understand the different processes that each county uses, because they're very different than what I'm accustomed to in Brown County. So we're moving forward. In regards to this hiring freeze, the governor has recommended a $250 million cut to state agencies, which would include the UW system. So Extension is waiting to see, as part of the UW system, what that cut is going to be. He also did ask state agencies to make a cut the last 2 months of the state budget year, which would have been May and June, for $70 million, and the UW system took a disproportionate amount of that cut of $40 million, just over $40 million. So Extension's portion was $900,000. So at this point, until they have a better sense of how many more cuts they're going to have to take, we're going to be in this hiring freeze. So I am in an interim position for the 3 counties, since I do have Brown County as well. So I'll keep you posted, but like I said, Manitowoc County has been sending communication to our dean and director with extension of we need to get that egg position filled. And Door County Egg and Extension Committee is becoming much more vocal in regards to wanting to get their egg position filled. But at this point, nothing's going to happen until we know what the cuts are and how we can absorb all of those cuts. So we're kind of on hold right now. So we'll see what's going to happen. So it'll be an adventure. And we're going to get through it one way or the other.
I have a question for you. So you said Manitowoc County has sent letters into,
They sent an email to our administration, who responded back and said, you know, we're in a hiring freeze. We don't know how many more cuts we're going to get. So at this point, we're not going to fill, you know, we can't fill positions until we know.
so is it your recommendation that we provide some kind of letter of support so this keeps moving forward?
I think so, but let's wait and see what that next cut's going to be. And then I think it makes good sense to have a letter of support come from your committee.
Okay.
Because if it's a really severe cut, then we're probably not going to be able to do anything. But if it's something that's doable, then I think that would be appropriate for your committee to provide a letter of support.
Okay, thank you.
And trying to increase communication with the 3 counties. I've started a once a week e-newsletter that's going out. Staff meetings, we're doing one staff meeting for the 3 counties because there are some similarities, and so that's working out. But you know, trying to be as helpful and as available as I can to the 3 counties. So in addition to the fact that in Brown County, we have in our office 29 full and part-time staff, 4 state specialists, and then 25 on our table of organization for Brown County. So trying to keep everybody there going, and then to work with these 3 counties as well. Not doing so much work here, but with Door and Manitowoc County, really working with them to increase their social media presence in the counties. There's lots of good resources that have been developed that just are not getting out to the public. And so working with the support staff in those 2 counties and educators to really ramp up the social media. Kewaunee County is doing a good job. They've got Facebook pages. They keep their website up to date. But the other counties are a little bit behind. So working with those other counties to try to get that information out. And the other thing is a review of the 2021 budget. So Rob, before he left, put together the 2021 budget. It looks pretty similar to what it would have looked like in 2020. It went to the county administrator. I met with the county administrator late last week, and it was shared with me that he made a decision to eliminate Louise's position in the 2021 budget. And you have a copy of that, of the updated budget as well, that he made, that shows the change that he made.
Now what we went through last year?
Exactly the same thing. So I figured it would resurface again, but did he give any reasons why he's eliminating it?
He
I
thinks
thought
that
we got through that last year, that it was, we got over that hump.
so his what he shared with me was that with 3 educators, is there a need for 2 support staff, or could they get by with 1 support staff? There's also my understanding, and I don't know because I'm walking into situations I know nothing about, that there have been some performance management concerns, but I haven't been able to find any documentation on that. So that were 2 of the points that he made.
So do we have to go through all of this again? like we did last year?
I would assume so.
Ugh.
See, it just seemed like last year there was, when that first came up, there was support from everyone involved, Rob, all the educators, other people on the county board that felt that that position should be retained. So we went through quite an effort to keep it in the budget last year.
Yes.
And I thought we were hopefully going past that issue.
Right.
But I see it's back again, so I don't know what our approach is going to be unless you guys support the administrator. I don't know. It's up to the committee how they want to proceed.
Well, I guess I really wish we weren't faced with this again this year. I mean, like you just said, Tom, I thought we went over that hill last year and took care of it, and that we wouldn't have this issue again until someone was making maybe unless there was a retirement or something like that, or but that we wouldn't be looking at, I hate to use, forcefully removing a position again this year. But that seems to be what we're doing. And I'm not sure if part of it is because there's a new department head, okay? And maybe he feels that this is a good time to try to do that. I don't agree with it. That's me personally. I don't know what the feelings are of the rest of the department. If they feel that we still need this position, or if we could, it's a lot tougher this year because, we've got this virus situation going on yet, which is, for whatever way you want to describe it, making things even worse or whatever, more difficult. And then we had the area administrator, or we had Rob's position leave. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to reiterate again about Chairman Romdom's work last year in that budget area, coming up with the numbers that you did. I want to applaud you again for that, Tom. You did a great job with that, looking and finding those numbers that we needed. And I just, like I say, I'm just really disappointed. I just I wouldn't have believed we'd have to do this again this year.
And I don't know if it's an issue with overall finances for the county, or if it's just the feeling of the administrator that the county doesn't need that position. I don't.
Yeah. Well, in the situation with the overall expenses for the county, we had heard a couple months ago already from our financial director, Paul, that because of our prudence or whatever, the amount of money that we put into the budget that we had estimated last year that was going to be coming in for the sales tax, we used a number that was significantly less than what normally we would think or projected. And then after the first numbers came out from the state of how reduced those tax numbers would be, or those tax collections would be, brought us right in line. So our budget, theoretically, should not be suffering one bit, basically, from the COVID situation, according to what we had gotten from our financial director. So I don't feel there should be a shortage of funding here, that's the reason, or that would be a reason. I guess I would argue against that if that's the reason. That's in my opinion, a very poor excuse.
I guess I would ask if our educators have any commentary on this issue, or pro or con, or neutral, or.
Yes, but to share privately.
I think I would concur with that statement as well.
Okay.
I just have one thing to say. I'm looking back at our this year's budget that we're working with currently right now. And obviously, you know, because of the conditions that we're in, there's considerably less use of our budget that we had budgeted for. You know, there's some areas here where we have, you know, we haven't even hit half of it yet, you know, so I guess I'm in favor of definitely trying to keep this position. There's no question about it. Hopefully someday we'll be back to normal working conditions.
Well, like, I think we have a finance meeting on Friday too, and maybe we can bring this up at the finance meeting also, but I don't know if the committees feel strongly that we should try to keep this position. I think we should have at least a motion on the record from the committee saying that we want to keep that position in our 2021 budget.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would make that motion.
Moved by Chuck, seconded by
I will second that.
Gary to for the UW Extension Committee to go on record in support of maintaining the current support staff position that's being proposed to be cut by the administrator. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion's carried.
You know, I also think that, you know, if there is a discussion that needs to be a discussion held with our educators one-on-one, then that should be done so we know, you know, we're kind of sitting here not knowing all the facts maybe.
Or we could set up a closed session to discuss that personnel position. I don't know what Judy thinks about that,
I
but
think that would be a very good idea.
Yes, so I think that we're all on the same page.
I think you need to have a closed session and hear and have the educators share with you.
Okay. Do we have time to do that, or do we need to hold an extra meeting,
You'll
or
have
what is
to-
your feeling?
That would have to be posted.
yeah.
I understand that,
Yep.
but do we do it at our next meeting, or do we hold one meeting in between here, or, Mr. Chair, how do you feel this should be handled?
Well, I think we should address this as soon as possible.
I would agree.
So if we could just set up a meeting, and the only thing on the agenda would be the closed session for the personnel issues. And
I agree.
if Judy, if you could take care of getting that agenda set up,
Yep, I'm more than happy to do that.
we need to pick a day then. Next week, anytime next week.
Let's see, September.
And to our committee, if I could request that this is not a live streamed
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't be-
meeting, I don't know if you need us to come in and meet in person, if that is a plausible thing, if that'd be easier. Just something that we might want to consider. I don't know how Erica and Renee feel about that, but I could definitely make that a consideration if that's okay with you, Judy. I don't know what your thoughts are about that.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect, because I was worried about open records
Yeah.
requests.
And I guess I prefer the educators come one-on-one with us, but that's up to the educators, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable meeting with the team of educators. I don't know what Renee and Erica are comfortable with, but if whatever you feel is the best, we can move with as well.
I'm fine either way,
Okay,
Yeah, same here.
depending on the day.
okay.
How does next Wednesday look, the 9th,
What's that date?
Erica, you're doing
September 9th?
dry down on the 8th, and is it the 10th in Door County?
No, it's the 15th in Door County.
15th, okay, but the 8th is silage dry down, correct, for you? So we're
Yeah,
going-
I can't do the 8th, but I could do the 9th in the afternoon. I don't know about everybody else.
I have to be in Door County at 3:30 for their extension committee meeting, so if we could do it like at 1 and I could.
Sure,
would that-
earlier
Does
afternoon.
1 o'clock
1
work
o'clock
for a
would
closed
work.
meeting?
That works
Okay.
for me.
Yep.
Okay, so I will work with the county clerk to get it posted as a closed meeting.
Okay,
And I don't know how you do that here, so I'll work with her because I know how to do it in Brown County, but not here. So the 9th at 1 o'clock. Do we need to schedule this space? Okay, I'll email the clerk. Okay. Okay, I'll talk with the county clerk. So if we're going to do this face-to-face, I'm probably going to have to fill out a program, whatever that form is called. So do you want to do it via, what is more convenient and comfortable for the three of you? Do you want to do it via Zoom or do you want to come in? Or you want a mixture of both?
I think they all said they were willing to come in and meet with us.
Okay. So we'll plan on a face-to-face meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other place we could do this is at the fairgrounds because it's actually set up for county board out there. If that's actually closer for you, Judy, to come in from Brown County. And I know there's several of the committee members that are in that area. It's all set up. I don't know if that works easier for you.
That's fine too.
Is that fine? It would be the 9th of
9th.
September. What's your schedule look like, Ross?
Well, if we're not doing a Zoom in, or it's gonna be a closed session, it doesn't matter, does it?
That's true.
So we don't need the video stuff.
Okay, perfect. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll talk we'll wait till Tom gets back and see if he's okay, but if you two are okay, that would help me then to get to Door County for
Fine with me.
Fine
that
with me.
committee meeting. But do we have to reserve the fairgrounds, the meeting room space?
We do. I can, do you want, that's Jenny Salentine at Parks and Rec. Who is the one who we set that up through. Judy, do you want to do that or do you want me to do that?
I can do it as long as you send me her contact information, or if you want to do it, but I can certainly, I just don't have her
Yeah.
contact information.
So Judy, what I'll do is I'll email her right now and I'll CC
Okay.
you on it. And that way
Okay.
you'll have Jenny's contact information.
I worked well yesterday to get Ross's
Yeah.
contact information, so I just don't know who the players are in these counties yet, so. Are you okay if we would meet at the fairgrounds in Luxembourg?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Perfect.
So September 9th, 1 o'clock, fairgrounds.
Correct. And that would be in the 4-H room, correct, Jill?
We could even meet in the big open hall because that is set up, or we could, I don't know if there's, how many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There might be room to meet in the 4-H conference room too. I can ask Jenny to reserve both of those for us and we
Okay,
can make a
that'd be
decision when
great.
we get there.
So,
Land and water meets in there. There's plenty of room for this group.
Great. Great.
okay,
I was just doing the count for the 6 feet between and I think we should be okay.
It's set up for a bigger group than this, for sure.
Yeah.
okay. That sounds good. Thank you for accommodating my schedule next week,
Fine.
so trying to
Fine.
Great.
fit all these things in. So I think, yes, I think it'll be very helpful to hear educators' thoughts in an environment where they can be open and honest.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So thanks for being accommodating, the three of you, to allowing them to have the opportunity for their voice to be heard. And I will get an agenda out. I have Zoom, I'll do it tonight. I have Zooms all day today. But I'll get that to the county clerk because I know she have it, 10 days in advance? We won't quite do that, but there's a holiday, so I'll get that. Whatever, maybe I'll call her, find out what.
Not here to,
She's not, okay.
I was
Okay,
just there.
then I'll have to,
But Debbie's here.
okay.
Yep.
Deb, yeah, okay. Okay, I don't have, oh, you guys emailed Debbie with your report, so yes.
Yep.
I'll-
And Judy, if you need that email, I can forward that to you as well. Just let me know.
Okay, I think I've got that one because I do have your reports, but if I don't, Jill, I'll let you know.
Sounds great.
Okay,
I got one other question, I guess, concerning the combined Door County, Kewaunee County meeting. That's still on hold, or are we looking to maybe have it in October, or
I think
no?
at this point it's on hold.
On hold?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Just-
We'll wait till things loosen up a
That's
little
fine.
bit. Hopefully, we'll see if there's going to be a bump in COVID in the next
Sure.
couple weeks, kind of anticipating, and if not, we do need to do that. But we want to make, so, but yes. But that's a good reminder, Chuck. I think let's, I'll put that on my notes for next month is that, as an agenda item, combined meeting with Door and Kewaunee counties. So don't forget about it.
Um, Looking even more in the future, I guess, but I guess, I think, I'm not sure how aware you are of the Door Kewaunee Legislative Day program that
I-
had been going on for the last number of years.
I remember
Rob-
Rob talking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and probably next spring would be,
Mhm.
looking at after this election, got
Yeah.
all new legislators, so we
And-
kind of put together our program and we go down there. It's a program that I've been totally in support of since it started. And so it's just, if we need to have something or have a list of other things that are even looking further, hopefully by next spring, everything is getting a little bit better and we can get back into normal. But I guess if we're going to start thinking about things, that event is something you need to plan
Okay.
months in advance. So
Okay,
it's,
okay,
um,
that sounds good.
Sure.
Yes, because next year will be budget year with the state legislature, so I think
Yep.
it'll be key to figure out, what are the items that you need financial support or other support with, and who needs to be included in that trip to Madison and getting all those visits scheduled. I do know a number of your elected officials or legislators, because they also serve portions of Brown County, so.
And Judy, that's also we do a youth contingency that goes as well that I work with to work with the adults that go. So there is a youth component from our county that goes along with that. So
And we've done that with our 4-H kids in the past when extensions had
yeah,
legislative visits that we've taken a number of youth down. So I think that's a great opportunity as well. So I'll work with you, Jill, on that.
sounds great. Thank you.
And I do bus down.
We do. Yep, the youth take a separate bus down from the adults. The adults could do an overnight experience. The youth haven't been doing an overnight experience just because it doesn't, of chaperoning purposes when you do that. But it's definitely something we can consider for the future because I feel like we
Okay.
could do some great things in Madison if that's need be. We just need to plan some extra pieces for that.
Yep. Is the legislative days a budgeted item in your county budget under county board? Is that where that is kept? Okay.
mhm. 'Cause
And
there's a county commitment of contribution, an amount.
Mhm.
So that also would be looked at as far as
yes,
in
yes.
the budget.
So is somebody want to take a look and make certain that money's still in the budget for anyone? And then does anybody have an agenda of what this looked like in the past?
I probably have some old ones, Judy, if I go back and look through my archives in the office.
Okay.
So I'll look and see what I have. I know I at least have the part that I made for the youth contingency for their days because I usually reconfigure a few things and make it youth friendly, but I'll look and see what I have. I might have something in my files
Okay.
for the
Okay.
whole week or for the 2-day experience.
Okay,
I
that
think.
sounds good. Does this get posted like a meeting would in this county? Because you have more than 3 supervisors? How do you handle that?
no, it would be
doesn't.
considered like similar to like a seminar or a
Convention.
convention or something like that.
I just wanted to make certain, because I'm going to ask you lots of these questions, because I don't want to do something that I do in Brown County that you do here, so we don't have to post it. So that would be great. So we'll consider it professional development, just like going to WCA to their end conference.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, if any, ever got agendas from the past, it really
I
helps
could look.
to see
I-
those.
I- Look,
And Jill's got the youth one, so that is great. So we'll see what that entails. And
Yeah, the youth love it. They gain so much from it, and they a lot of the youth come back really engaged in what they know about knowledge of the county and different things that they were unaware of, and that opportunity to meet with legislators. And I've had several of them who've now graduated out of the program who did that experience, who've said that was a huge eye-opening, life-changing experience, and how they looked at things, and even their knowledge of their ability to speak with legislators, because we go through a lot of stuff. We go through the agenda for the day, but we go through, a lot of other things that go along with that. And I work with them and teach them a lot of other pieces during
perfect.
that experience. It's a really good one. So
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anything else you can think of that I need to worry about or plan for, please? You can send me an email. I think you got the original letter that would have some of my contact information, but just email me and let me know so that nothing falls through the cracks during this time.
Okay. Just in reference to the proposed budget, I think we just got it here. And I think after our meeting on the 9th of September, then we will take a closer look at the proposed budget. And if we have any other further discussion, we can do that at our next regular meeting, because it'll still be plenty of time before the administrator makes the budget presentation. So
correct.
that could be a good plan to do it that way.
Sounds good.
Okay. Anything else, Judy?
Oh, thank you.
Chuck, Gary, anything?
No?
Okay, next meeting, I think we've already set October 7th, I believe.
Yep, 8:30.
And do you want to look at November right away? That would be following our first Wednesday, would be the 4th of November.
Election.
Yeah. Could be interesting.
Yeah. Lots to discuss.
Same time.
Okay,
8:30 here.
so we'll do October 4th and October 7th, November 4th, 8:30.
Yep.
And in this room, probably.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
I'll second that motion.
Moved by Gary, second by Chuck to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. We are adjourned at 9:10.